God was going to bring the future, but he had to arrange the set. He had to order the things, the area, the environment where the future was going to dwell.
Have border posts, and they have boundaries, they have guidelines, they have a wall built around about their relationship. That is what order does. Order creates boundaries around your relationship. And order you put into place brings you into a place where you have boundaries. God set Adam and put him in the garden. Forever and ever. Thank you for your name. Thank you for your glory. Thank you for everything that brings praise to you. Thank you for yet a better time and a better opportunity. Thank you for everyone to which we will be ministering at this time. Lord, we thank you for someone who take right steps in the right direction even by listening to this ministration. Glory and praise is due to you. In the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, good everything, wherever you are. We want to use this opportunity to welcome you and to appreciate you. What a time to be with you. Let's just take advantage of the few minutes we have together and see what God will do with us.
Yes, sir.
My name is Isaac.
My name is Ethel Abe.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Amen.
Honor and majesty is due to him.
Yes, sir.
Glory and praise is due to our God. What do we do? How can we posted a topic, a very sensitive topic out there. And we posted a very sensitive topic out there. Before we start on the topic today, I want to use this opportunity to take 1 minute silence for all the people that lost their lives in Benue State in Nigeria. Many of them lost their lives innocently. Let's just take this opportunity. Let's just observe 1 minute for them. Thank you for complying. Thank you for being part of this. May the soul of the departed rest in peace.
Amen.
We on the face of the earth, we just have to move on. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Hallelujah.
The story was told of two couples living in the same neighborhood. There were two couples. Ask me what happened. One particular couple was known with constant quarrel. They quarrel each other all the time. People know them with, when you want to find out the noisy couples in the neighborhood, don't go too far. Everyone knows them. And the second family were known to be people who were very quiet and very friendly in the neighborhood. Don't ask me too many questions yet. Just keep the questions at bay. Now, something was very, very obvious about these two. Now, the woman who happens to be the first family that is quarrelsome and constantly, in disagreement and conflict, ask the husband, will you not go and see this quiet couple? Find out from them how they do their things.
Yes.
Find out from them how they do their things. And the man got there. By the time the guy got there, he stood by the window watching them. He didn't want them to know that he was looking at them. Then he saw a particular scenario where the woman was on the floor, mopping the floor. And she needed to get something for the husband. And in the process of getting something, the husband passed by the water she was using for mopping, and the bucket tripped. The bucket tripped, and water fell on the ground. You know what it means? As if it's not enough that she's been sweating, mopping the floor. Now she has to go back and mop the places she has already mopped before. Who does that? Who wants to do that kind of thing? But interestingly, immediately the woman saw it. The woman said, oh my love, I'm sorry. Very, very sorry. I ought to have put the bucket away from your passing point. And the man said, oh my love, I hope I have the time. I will have helped you clean this up. I'm very, very sorry. I don't know why I didn't look at the ground before I passed where the bucket was. And now I have given you so much to do. She said, no, you didn't give me much to do. It's okay, it's okay. But I hope you are all right. Each of them were after each other's health. They wanted to be sure about the well-being of the other. And the man saw it. The man that belongs to the other family saw it, and he ran to go and call his wife. Come and see something. By the time he got there, so he saw the two of them now helping each other to clean the place, and so he narrated the story to the other woman. The other woman said, now I understand where we've been missing it all this while. Because they've had, every time something happens, the two of them are on edge. Every time something happens, they throw the blame at each other. You understand? They throw the blame on each other. Everyone says, I am right. The other one says, I am right. This other one says, I am right. Question is, who is wrong? Who is wrong? Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Was it the man who tripped, or the one who dropped the bucket on the road where the man tripped? Who was wrong? Both of them accepted the blame that they were wrong.
Yes, sir.
What am I trying to say? The family that was constantly quarreling took a lesson from here, and they said, let's just even roll out our lives and see how we can envelope each of our problems in a package that can be conducive for us to live in. So the issue in front of us today is such that we want to be able to see how we can help you package each and every issue you have in such a manner that you will be able to put them in perspective, understanding that at the base of most of the problem is this issue of blaming. Don't forget, every time you blame, fingers are pointed. Every time you blame, other fingers are also pointed. One man said, every time you point one finger at somebody else, the other fingers are pointing towards you. These are the things we want to unravel today. Understanding that whether we like it or not, there are issues in our lives that makes us throw blames around. This thing happens in the workplaces. Everybody is looking for a scapegoat. These things happen in families. Everybody is looking for who to point hands at. These things happen among siblings. Who took this thing from here? Who took that from there? Who did this? Who did they? Many of these blame things come out of questions that we ask that are not necessary. Now, it's not impossible. People might not have taken this to heart, but we want to draw this to our attention in order to be able to tell ourselves 2018 is yet in front of us. In our marriage and family life, we need to mark progress. We need to become successful. These are the basic principles we will have to put into place in order for these things to work. question then is, we have things listed out here as the causes. Sorry, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's the blame game. Why blame? What is blame? Blame is simply, like you said, pointing hands at somebody, you know, shifting blame,
That
shifting,
act of pointing hands.
not taking responsibility for anything. Okay, and you know, I know you're still going to talk about Adam and Eve and all that, but I believe that blame game didn't start today. It didn't start with me. It didn't start with you.
It's a long-standing problem.
It's something that has been here before almost all of us were born. It's a natural reaction to things, especially situations that have gone sour, situations that have gone beyond or out of the proportion that they were expected. So people try to justify what happened by removing themselves from the scenario or from removing themselves from the cause of what happened. So it is a natural thing. Many of us blame not because we even know we are blaming. A lot of people blame people not knowing that they are blaming people. Now the essence of bringing this topic out today is to highlight it, that it is something that is happening. You know, some people don't even know. Like, if anything happens, no, it's not my fault, it's this person that did it. Unconsciously people do it, maybe because of the way they were brought up.
Please, that was where I wanted to enter.
You know, the issue of Adam and Eve, like I said, you're still going to go there, is different. Let's say in our contemporary times, why do we blame? Why do people blame? Some people started blaming or started becoming conscious of themselves at a particular young age. You understand? Maybe in the family, anything goes wrong, people are looking for them to say, it is done by this person. So in order to defend themselves from that constant accusation, they take a nature, they adopt something that makes them turn at every point. I see, there's a child I met some time ago. Before you even say, it's not me,
it's not me,
the child will start shouting, it's not me, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. I said, who told you you did it? How did you get here?
How did you get there?
You know, and some people grow up with that.
Defensive.
Exactly. That's to the extent that when they enter into a relationship with other people, the thing has grown and matured with them. So it becomes a part of them that unconsciously, if anything happens, they don't like to take blame. If there's anything that goes wrong, they will say, no, I didn't contribute to this. But I believe that where two people are in a relationship, when things happen and blames are taken, let's say somebody says, I am contributing to this problem 50%. Let me say 50% of the fault is from me. I must have done something. You see, the family will be quiet, like that family you are talking about.
Yes.
But where somebody says, it's not me, everything is going wrong in this house because I didn't do this, because I am the one doing this, because, you know, once you begin to push blame around, you begin to cause conflicts. And you begin to exhibit that nature that was with you, or that thing you acquired while growing up. You are trying to defend yourself all the time. Nobody must tell me I am doing this because I know I'm right. You know that self-righteousness that we acquired.
What makes this topic interesting is the fact that I don't want to claim to be very spiritual. I'm serious. I don't want to claim to be very spiritual when it comes to the blame game. I don't want to say I have not done it before. Guys, I have done it before, times without number. In fact, in the recent, I did it. One of the things that happened, the recent one, was fasting. Because of fasting, you know what I'm talking about. You could just imagine, I said, if this thing could come up during fasting. When you are not fasting, what happens? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
When you are not fasting, what happens? Which means the blame game waits for a particular template of life.
Yes, sir.
Once he gets that template, it manifests. It shoots itself. He wants to be recognized. He wants to be seen in the human life.
Yes.
And you know where blame goes to hide itself? In the very center of the two people. I'm not the one who... I didn't do it. Even if you didn't do it, you understand me? A way of defending one another demands, oh, that thing happened? Oh, maybe I didn't put it rightly. Maybe I also didn't do this. Maybe I also didn't do that. You acknowledge where you missed it first of all, to be able to give that person a room to operate. Why are we saying this? Why are we even going into all this? We've been able to list out there are about 7 different causes, you understand me,
Yes,
of blame. Why do people blame each other?
Blame others.
Why do people blame each other? Why do people blame others? Why do individuals blame their spouse? Why do they blame the very
All kinds of things.
others? You understand what I mean? What is the reason? The first thing we have here is jealousy. When someone is jealous of you, there's nothing you do that is good enough. You know what I mean? When somebody is jealous of you, no matter how good you are, they want to see a fault in what you are doing that will make them blame you for every mistake. Are you seeing what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Another reason why somebody can do that is unforgiveness. You know what I mean by unforgiveness? He's not ready to forgive you. Yeah, you did it the last time. We were watching one film one day. A man forgot the date, his wedding anniversary. The woman did everything possible to remind him. What is special about today? He doesn't know what is special about today. He can't remember his wedding anniversary. Do you know, as I speak, many men are still in that trap.
Yes, sir.
Issues of life going up and down does not even make them to remember the day of their wedding anniversary. And what happens? The woman comes back and says, "Hey, I've prepared cake." Cake? What is cake for? See, now the issues are already arising. You understand me? What is cake for? Oh, it's for this evening. Why cake? Why not something else? And you don't know today is a special day. Special? What makes it special? The story I'm talking about, do you know that at the end of the day, the woman was the one who broke the news and she felt very bad. To have been the one who broke the news of their wedding anniversary to the husband. As if it was not enough, the husband now looked for a way to get back at her.
To revenge.
To revenge. As if they are in a competition. How did he get there? Jealousy. Jealousy. And unforgiveness. The guy was not willing to forgive her. Oh yeah, but what is there to even forgive? If it was a level-headed man, oh, my love, thank you. What would I have done without you? Thank you for reminding me. I fell into that trap many years ago. You understand what I mean? It was our first wedding anniversary. And my wife said, "Hey, today is a very important day." And I'm looking at her. Today is important. What's important about today? I'm dressing up, not in my tie. I'm going to look for work. I'm going to work somewhere, and you're telling me today is important. And I look at, what is important? You don't know today is our wedding anniversary? Hey! Just to be able to make up. Then I fell flat to the thing. I didn't remember. On the way to work that day, I was telling myself, aha, now you have been very careless about some things. You can't afford to be careless again. Which means next year, don't even wait until the day comes up before you remember. So put it in your memory now, let it be in your mind that on a particular day of September is your wedding anniversary. Don't you let anybody tell you. Thank God for Facebook. You know what I mean? Thank God for these days. Even if you don't remember, Facebook will remind you to make things easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so then, unforgiveness is a terrible tool that blame uses.
Yes,
Why? Oh yeah, we're looking for a way to level up. How do they even put it? We want to even out with each other because she was the one that blamed me last time. Let me look also for another reason to blame her. So you start looking for a fault where there is none. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Please, I just want us to discuss this. It's very, very important. Look at that one there. Envy.
It's the same like jealousy. There's no reason to overflow that. I mean, couples should never be jealous of themselves. There should be no reason for competition or envying of one another. Why should I envy you when all you have is mine, all I have is yours? Okay, if it's skill and talent that we have, it is brought into the relationship, it is a value add. So why should I be envious of what is coming from my spouse, you know, to begin to blame him because of my shortfalls, you know?
You are envy, they say.
Yeah.
You earn more than me.
Oh.
And you're supposed to be my wife.
So,
any little thing happen in the house, is it because you earn more than me?
wow.
Are you getting the thing?
Wow.
Sometimes they don't even say, it doesn't come out as you earn more than me. But that you earn more than me smoothens out over every sentence.
It's the level, it's the yeast that
it's
is even the relationship.
Exactly.
For instance, okay, she
In
didn't come back on
almost
time.
everything.
Maybe you expected a homemade food.
Yes.
You guys have been eating out because everybody's working hard, and she decided to possibly pick something from maybe the McDonald's or something to say, let's eat this. And then she brings it and says, honey, sorry, I worked late today. I am so sorry. I didn't come back on time to at least prepare meals. And then the husband says, what kind of job do you think you're doing? That I will not eat my food? I mean, did I marry? What? I'm married to you. You should make my meals. African man, you know,
I know what you mean.
Why don't you? Who says you can't cook?
We were sitting down yesterday night watching a couple.
Yes, sir.
They have agreed that they will go and eat out. While they sat down waiting for the food,
Order.
the man was still complaining.
Must we eat out?
I don't understand.
Why do we have to eat out? Then imagine that
I
woman's.
just like my. Have you seen it?
My
I just
homemade
like
food.
my homemade food.
As if he's the one that cooks.
Meanwhile, they just traveled. The two of them just traveled in from Venda into Johannesburg.
How many kilometers?
How many
journey?
kilometers? As far as it's concerned, immediately they came back, she should
go to the kitchen.
Go to the kitchen
And start cooking.
and
The woman
get
says no.
his food. And the woman suggested, to make it easy for me, can't we just eat out? I mean, we're still in the periphery of the season. No, it's the season.
Yeah.
At least the year is still very, very much at the infant stage. So why don't we just eat out? You know, as a matter of, he agreed to eat out. He wore his coat. He did everything, only to get to the table, the eating table. They have made the first order. He was still complaining. I wish we can just leave this order and just go because I need my food. You know what I mean? I need my food. From that point, there was no. I just wondered what kind of food they will serve that will satisfy that man. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
He has registered something. From that point, if nothing is taken seriously, the man will begin to blame because it's his food. How did we even get here? We're talking about envy.
We're talking
How
about
two people in a relationship envy each other.
If one of them earns more than the other, and maybe it came to food,
Yes.
the other one will say, "Why are you not cooking my meals? What kind of job do you think you're doing?"
I hope
That
I'm
will
still
keep you away.
I hope I'm still the head.
You're right of this association.
I hope
of
I'm
this
still the
relationship.
head. Yeah.
And then there's a conflict. Before you realize it, she's like, "But I bring more of the money." Then you see them bringing dirty things
Things
out
begin to
of the
fly
place
out.
because
Yes.
of blame game. Okay. Now you talked about selfishness. When we remove self from the equation, we'll be able to understand how to walk in love. I think the Lord was teaching us something recently. He said, if you want to walk in love, you just have to remove yourself from the equation and let God be the center, and let your care for others be like you're caring for yourself. Then you'll be able to understand how not to blame. How can I be a selfish person and appreciate the fact that you threw water? You understand? I am mopping the ground, you threw water. You're not the one mopping the ground. And I'm going to do it times 2. How will I not flare up and blame you for being careless?
Have you noticed something about selfishness?
Yes, sir.
The eye of a selfish man is towards himself. He doesn't have an eye towards others. Everything has to be for me, to me, by me. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
They gratify everything called me.
Yes, sir.
And once it's not going to be convenient for you, then you don't like it. And the only way you show you don't like it is to begin to blame. About why? When I am supposed to.
I place the ground.
I takes over. That is selfishness
Yes.
in the very center. And once selfishness is inside, there is no way you can't run away from blame. Because what projects or promotes blame game is
Self.
self.
The person that is blaming is myself. Trying to accuse another
Yes.
person of being.
Who wants to be
in the wrong.
justified is
It's
myself.
You're right.
Who wants to be defended? Who is projecting self-defense? It is still myself.
Yes, sir.
Who is the person that doesn't want to be touched with any funny thing? It is still
Myself.
myself. So self is at the very center of
Blame game.
blame game. And that's why why are we even saying this? Are we saying this because we are saints that dropped from heaven? No. At one point or the other, the Lord had to deal with us. Do you want this relationship to go forward or you want to stagnate? If you want the relationship to go forward, stop this self thing. Stop blaming each other. How? He said yourself is too much.
In
You
a
understand?
relationship.
It's too much in the relationship.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you? Do you know that I can never understand how to respect you
Yes, sir.
unless I remove myself. Until I remove myself and I put you where myself is supposed to be, then I can understand how you feel. Then I can empathize.
Yes,
Then I can understand that when I go wrong, when statements are made out of line. You understand me?
Yes,
You can imagine a situation where somebody said something, the other spouse is almost going to kill herself. And the one who made the statement is telling himself, what did I say now?
I did nothing wrong.
What did I even say
And then
now?
you blame her again. You blame him again for just being
What
showing
have I even
himself.
said? What have I even said now? I've not really said anything to him. He has not said anything. But meanwhile, he has set the whole house on fire with his mouth.
Yes.
Yet he has not said anything. We want to travel as fast as we can because there's so much to say. When it comes to the blame game, we know what I'm talking about.
You know this area of fear. Fear of punishment. You know, a man will tell you, I'm not afraid of anybody. But from the childhood, from the experiences he has had in the past, there's a place where fear dwells and prescribes what is to be done and what is not to be done. So from that place of fear, you see people blaming others all the time.
No, fear is a teacher.
That's the greatest teacher on earth. Apart from the Holy Ghost, fear is the next available teacher.
Is a teacher.
You know?
Everyone that passes through the natural system must face fear at one time or the
Yes,
other.
sir.
It is either you denounce fear and you say, fear, I'm not going to allow you to rule me. If not, the suggestions of fear are unending.
You know why?
And each of those suggestions go with blame game.
Exactly. You know, when you are afraid of punishment from childhood, anytime you were wrong or anytime you did something wrong, punishment was meted to you, and the punishment was severe to the extent that it ingrained something in you. Now, as a married man or a married woman, somebody can become full of blames, trying to exonerate themselves from the things that's happening because they don't want to be punished. You see, fear of punishment, they don't want to be punished. Not that you're going to beat them, not that you're going to report them to anybody, but in their hearts, anytime they are wrong or anytime they have failed, they are supposed to be punished. So if they fail, they blame others for their failure.
Yeah.
If they do something wrong, they blame others for being the proximate cause.
Okay.
They always find somebody to blame for whatever is happening so that they think by blaming others they can escape punishment. You understand what I'm saying? So fear underpins or precipitates what is called blame in many people's life. The fear might not even be what you know. The fear is weird. You don't know why. Suddenly you're just saying, no, this cannot be. You are the reason why. But you know you're the reason why it happened. I remember something somebody was doing recently. A young guy, his friend he's a very rich guy. He's from a rich home. And he has a stepfather who is rich. And his friend came to him with an idea and said, I have this concept. Look at what it is. He looked at the concept and said, wow, it's nice. Then the friend said, can you please help me introduce me to your dad? He said, you don't need me to introduce you to my dad. My dad knows you. He said, no, this is not according to what we know. It is a different kind of thing I want to present to him. And the guy said, okay, I will just present him to you and you to him. And the father said, yes, let me meet your friend. Upon presenting his concept, the father liked the concept, gave this guy approval for the concept, took his business plan and said, I want to work with you as somebody that will be doing this and this for my company, and then gave the guy a Jeep, an SUV to say, this is your car to run around until you find your feet. That through this friend of his, they were childhood friends, they were like brothers.
Threw the guy
He threw him into something else. His self came up and then he became suddenly afraid. That, okay, this guy is going to take my father because he's a stepfather to me. And he saw how his father was really interested in this guy, mentoring him, giving him opportunities, showing him things. So he became agitated and he's like, no, if I don't do something now to stain this thing, this guy is going to take my place in my father's house. You know what he did? He just told the father, no, you know about intellectual property. This concept is my concept. We co-developed the concept together. The father said, no, I don't see it because when you introduced him to me, you said his idea was rubbish. Then he said, no, but I was just trying to play it down. The father said, okay, bottom line, eventually, when this guy came to himself, he discovered jealousy has pushed him.
Jealousy was there.
Jealousy has pushed him.
Envy was there.
And then he has gotten to fear.
Fear was there.
Fear now dictated to him what to do. And he began to lie about a concept he did not make any input into. But thank God, eventually he realized that he said, no, I have to humble myself and say the truth. Then he told his friend, I was jealous because the thing was going to cause a big problem for the friend. Now, in the same way, in a relationship, your fear can make you begin to say things that are not supposed to be said because something has gone wrong or somebody has gotten promoted. You know, there's a way, okay, let's say both of us, we have PhDs. And I'm sitting down here, my PhD is not producing much. Okay, like you keep writing articles or you keep having favors. Okay. Maybe, and suddenly you are the one writing articles, you're the one being promoted.
And you're the one having the same favor.
And maybe somebody calls you and says, come and take this appointment somewhere. And then me, I'm sitting down and I'm looking, wow. It could have been me. After all, we have the same qualification. Or let's say table turns, it's me. And then you begin to look. What's wrong with my wife? Then you turn the story. Do you know that when we are doing our PhD...
When she comes late from work, it's because...
No,
you see that?
Yeah, because of the new appointment.
When she talks and she's over-talking, it's because...
She's now appointed.
If she laughs, she laughs because of that appointment.
Do you know where fear will now play in? Because you are not afraid, or the person that is not appointed, or the person that is not favored, where they can become funny, is where fear will now dictate to them, spoil it. Come on.
Are you getting me?
You know, you are
that is what fear does.
So you now blame something on her or on him and say
you want to pin something on the person
just to mess up that opportunity because you are now afraid. So fear underpins a lot of the times why we blame people or we frame people, especially, you know, you have been blaming it's not working, then you frame. Are you getting me? That spotting that person is a blame. You say you be blameless. The Bible commands us to be blameless. You know, we should be blameless before God and we should be blameless in our relationship. We should not carry blame as one of the tools to work our relationship because actually blame is dysfunctional. It destroys more than it can never build. Blame doesn't ever build. Okay?
Let's even put it this way.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a relationship where the couples are under pressure? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
She's a nurse. She works at odd hours.
Yes, sir.
She comes in early in the morning. She works all through the night. She comes in early in the morning, and he is preparing to go out. You understand? He's supposed to go out at 9.
Yes, sir.
She comes in at 7. And between that 7 o'clock that she comes in till 9 o'clock that she leaves, there are expectations. Oh, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. For a woman who worked throughout the night. And she gets to one particular point, hey, please, I'm just sleepy. I don't know what to do with myself. And she starts crying. You understand? And she starts crying. And it's like,
why are you crying?
What are you crying about?
Are you not a woman? As if the woman is a machine.
Am I supposed to do what you're supposed to do now? Because you are working? Or should I even prevent you from doing the work? Why? There's a pressure where that person is working.
Yes, sir.
And then you now, can you see a situation where, have you seen this, what's the name of that film now? That Christian film that we, at that time.
Okay, that was in training.
Yes. A man was working in a, what do they call them now? These people, firefighting services. He works as a firefighter. Almost all the time, they are under pressure.
Under emergencies.
Under all kinds of emergencies.
Always ready.
And unconsciously, he comes to the house, you understand me? He lashes out
at the wife.
At the wife. And the wife is like, well, before I married you, you were not like this. If I knew, they could not pin the source of the problem. Not knowing that it was the kind of job
he was doing
that guy does. Because he's always under emergency. If he's not under emergency, even when he's, at peace in this thing, anything can happen in the next 5 minutes. And that next 5 minutes changes everything altogether.
He's either putting people out of the fire, or he's putting, oh come on, we're getting ready to run.
Getting ready to run, all kinds of things like that. Put him in a condition and a position where he puts pressures, you understand me?
Relationship.
This pressure that he faces at work is transferred to the family. Because At the end of the day, you now discover that, hey, how do we even put this together? Every time she talks, he blames. I mean, he goes ahead to blame her for one thing or the other. She's been okay all this while. All of a sudden, she started.
Why is there no milk in the fridge? Why is there no milk in the fridge?
Yes.
She says, oh, I worked late. I didn't realize. After all, you were at home. I was at home waiting for any call. Anything could have happened.
Yes.
Then the wife will say, no, because, you know, I'm a nurse. I mean, you know how I...
Yeah,
who said, what kind of nurse? Didn't you realize you're going to be a wife?
Shouldn't you, when you're coming from your work, would you not have branched by the store?
You can't you go to the store to pick it. It doesn't think that, you know.
Milk in the fridge, it must be the woman that will put milk in the fridge.
She decided not to buy again.
She's told herself the last 3 bottles of milk, they ended up throwing it away because he won't drink it. And most of the time he's not around. And the only day he's inside, you understand me? And there's no milk because the ones she's been buying, they've been throwing away. It became issue. Are you seeing how people
can
transfer problem from their work into their home by so doing, blaming each other?
I know this stress. There's this mental stress that is running around these days. You know, a lot of people are under stress. A lot of people are stressed.
Seriously.
A lot of people are stressed. A lot of people are depressed, and a lot of people are under hectic mental pressures that they cannot begin to tell you about that. And there's this transference. I'm not talking about transferring the aggression. You know, instead of acknowledging that they are under stress, they look for somebody else to blame. I am working and trying to provide for this family, and that is why my life is like this. I don't even have time for myself. Is that not part of living? You don't complain about work. There are people that are looking for work. You don't complain about providing for your family. That is one of the functions of a Christian or a human being who is a man. Now, a man is complaining about he's doing so much for the family and he is under pressure at work. The boss expects him to do this and do this, or if he's a boss, the board expects him to do this and do this, and he's not meeting his targets. Instead of addressing the stress matter, he brings it home and puts all kinds of blames on the wife.
Spouse.
We are supposed to do the boiler or the geyser has problem. Why didn't you do it? The woman says, what do I know to do? You should have called the plumbers or this. I don't know. You are the one that's always called them.
Calling them.
But you know I'm working. You have always been working. And now what is the difference? You know, so stress makes people put blames anyhow. People can throw blames even before thinking. I said something when I made a comment on your post. I said, blame has a way of making you blind. You won't even see what you're supposed to do. You know, it makes you blind and you can't see what you're supposed to do to correct the situation. You are more comfortable. You know, there's this relief when you're able to put the blame on somebody else. You're justified. You're just at peace. It's you. And as you're saying it's you, something in you eats and becomes happy that somebody is taking the blame. But it's not supposed to be so. It ought not to be so. If you're under stress, you can address your stress and not blame others. There's insecurities also. You know, some men and women in relationships are not secure. They feel insecure because of the experiences they've had in the past, like past broken relationships. Everybody, I told one lady, she told me, guys who come to propose to me, they'll come to want to go out with me. After some time, they don't come again. And I wonder what is wrong with me. I said, nothing is wrong with you if you don't think nothing is wrong with you. But if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys have come earnestly, Christians, wanting to marry you, and they keep going away, you know what you do to yourself? Check yourself out. Ask yourself, what is it that they are seeing that is making them go away?
But when she came to you, she brought the story as if is there a problem?
No, not my problem.
It's not my problem.
Now, you see, so long as she was saying it's their problem, she wasn't seeing it. Now, I said to her, I said, look, if people have been coming to you and they are walking away,
not looking back.
They are walking away. Ask yourself,
what is it?
There is something that is not okay.
That I'm doing and I'm saying that I'm...
What is it about me that is not okay that is making them go away? Instead of blaming them, put the light, shine it on your heart,
yes.
and ask yourself,
Lord,
what did I say? What did I do? How do I respond?
and how do I conduct myself?
How do I conduct myself? So if you don't do that, and now you begin to carry that feeling of, is there a problem? I don't have a problem. Or you now say, well, I'm okay where I am. Whatever they feel, that's your own. Now, when a guy comes that really, really wants to understand what the problem is, and the guy begins to show you love and care, do you know that you will begin to feel insecure?
Yeah.
Because something in you will tell you, he will also still go.
Are you not going to go?
And if he tells you, okay, I love you, okay, I know you've had your experiences, but I am willing to carry this along. Do you know that your blaming nature will tell you he is actually acting up and is looking for an opportunity to go?
You will soon see the real person.
So our insecurities sometimes can make us blame even a righteous man. It can make us blame a righteous woman because we are not secure in our own skin. We are not comfortable in our own selves. Okay?
The worst part of all these things that we have talked about is failure. Have you ever handled a project before and the project failed?
Woefully.
You understand me? Somebody said failure is not mentioned until there is blame. That failure has a way of gratifying, blame has a way of gratifying failure to actually make it failure. Do you understand what I mean? The reason this thing did not work is because, then you point away. Oh, yeah, obviously, this other person did not do this and this and this and this. That is why this thing did not work. You understand what I mean?
Yes,
just every time something has failed, next other thing is, how do I exonerate myself from this? And that happens a lot in the workplace.
Okay.
Especially in those places where the team effort is not there. You understand what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It can be terrible. Yet,
in Adam's and Eve's case,
let's go into the real issue where there was a party for blaming. You understand what I mean?
Yes, sir.
The book of Genesis, chapter number 3. Maybe we should get it into place. The book of Genesis, chapter number 3. Right from, remember that place where they have just eaten the fruit?
Verse 6.
The woman took the fruit and ate. After eating the fruit, gave it to the man. The man also ate the fruit. And in verse 9, 3 verse 9, the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And the Lord God said to him, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten the fruit from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat? Then the man said, the woman
you gave to
whom
me.
you gave to be with me, she gave me to eat, and I ate it.
And the Lord God said to the woman,
please,
what is this that you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. So the Lord God said to the serpent,
yes,
because you have done this. Have you noticed that the Lord God didn't ask the serpent, who made you do this? He now cursed the serpent. Let's go back to that place.
Now let's go back to the, I call it the blame party. The blame party, because everybody is looking for who to blame. Now that this thing has happened like this, what do we do? Have you ever experienced that in the workplace? There's a lapse somewhere, and everybody is saying, who did this? How did this happen? No, it was so person. No, Sipo did it. No, it's simply way. No, it's this other one. This was the person who did this. Now, that's not even what we're saying. That thing has its root in the Word of God. What do we mean? Adam had just lost it. Adam just disobeyed God. Adam had just eaten the fruit that they told him not to eat. And the Lord God showed up to ask him, Adam, where are you? And Adam began to rant. What Adam took. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
As at that time, they have not told, one of the things they didn't tell us was that eating that fruit will make Adam to become a blamer.
Yes, sir.
You know what I call it? A blamer.
Yes, sir.
Adam never knew how to blame before he ate the fruit. As soon as he ate the fruit, what happens? The blame thing entered into him. And then he understood. I'm not taking responsibility for this. It was the woman whom
God gave
he gave to be with me.
So he was offended.
Not that she was my choice,
Okay.
my wife, whom you said I should marry.
My love.
She whom you gave to be with me.
So do you see that blame is underpinned by offense?
Offense. I
You
get
can't blame until you are offended.
Offended.
Oh, thank you.
I get you.
You can't blame a man or a woman until you are offended
Yes.
with something. Nobody just blames smiling.
All these years I've been in this garden. Did I eat this fruit? I didn't. Was it not because of you who brought this woman and you promised her to be? Did you see that language? Whom you gave to be with me, which means I didn't suggest that she should come. You, it was your suggestion, and so see to it.
So offense propels blame.
Blame.
When you're offended, you can even blame your own mother for giving birth to you. I remember the prophet Jeremiah, when he was offended one day, he began to curse the day he was Job.
It was
Job began to curse the day he was born. And the woman that carried the hand that delivered him, he cursed the doctor, he cursed the nurse, he cursed the day, he cursed everything. I see some people that curse trees because they are offended with life, you know. So blame, you can't blame.
Did you remember one story like that?
Yeah.
We had just lost 2 churches somewhere, and one guy looked at me and said, "Man of God,
Curse those guys.
those pastors that did this thing, curse them,
We can't.
curse them to their root." And
You can't.
I looked at the guy, I laughed. The guy said, "Why am I laughing?" I said, "You don't even know the spirit, the manner of spirit that you are made of. If you know the manner of spirit that you are made of, you will not curse." Cursing means you are offended. Once you are offended,
It's
you will
difficult
blame.
to win you.
You will blame.
Yes, sir.
Then you now enter into your quivers and begin to bring out things wrong.
You know the Bible
Things that
says.
you're supposed to use to bless.
Yeah.
The Bible says bless,
Yeah,
curse
curse
not.
not.
You see that?
And you know the Bible also says that a brother offended, it is more difficult to win him
To
than
win
to win
a city, than to win that
Yes, you
brother.
can convert the whole city,
Yeah, you can convert
one brother that is offended.
brother.
So just offense, the way I think I had one woman of God talking recently, said once you get offended, you have just begun to lose it.
Yes.
Chase offense away from your home, from your marriage. Don't allow anything to offend you. If you don't understand or you don't agree with what is happening, don't blame. Okay, we're not going to the solution yet. We're still talking about blame. Blame is underpinned
by
by
offense.
offense.
I like that.
And like you said the other time, failure is not a failure until it is justified by blaming somebody. If you see failure and say, no, this is where I went wrong, I'm going to correct this, you will do better.
You see that?
I have seen somebody that repeated a particular class. I was teaching a class. The person repeated the class. And when I took over the course, the person topped the class.
Yeah.
Because when the person came to me, he said, I can never pass this course. I sat her down. I said, listen to me, child. You know what you're going to do? You see this module, you're going to top the class. He said, how do I know? I said, you're not a failure. You can't fail. The problem is that now you're afraid. You have justified. He said, because I don't know.
For you to have even been brave to come to me.
To come back
over this
particular.
It means you can do it.
She topped the class.
You see that?
She topped the class with a distinction. I said, you know why? Because once you call it failure and you justify it, no, because I don't know it, because the teacher didn't teach me well,
then the mind is
because
blocked
I did not
from
have
receiving
electricity, because I didn't have a study group. Once you begin to justify it, you have already made that failure perpetual. But if you take offense out of it, take blame out of it, you are going to be successful the next time. So don't blame because it just comes to you, I should blame somebody. That thing that makes you blame is taking 50% of your creativity to solve the problem away. Once you blame, you are beginning to lose creativity. You won't be able to innovate. You can't change that situation.
Everyone who blames, are you sure there's no dissatisfaction somewhere? Very distant.
Yes, sir.
Dissatisfaction. You are probably not satisfied
with something,
with where you are, what you are doing, what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting me?
Address it.
Address that thing.
Address it. Don't just throw fires.
Blame into it.
Throw fires. It will expand it.
Don't have blame into the thing. Once there's dissatisfaction, you look at it, call it exactly what it is. I'm dissatisfied about this. If you are dissatisfied, isolate it, and deal with it.
Yes, sir.
Instead of bringing in blame into a dissatisfied state, it will lead to dysfunction the person. So then, where are we going with all of this? Adam knew. You understand me? Adam knew.
He was offended already.
Adam knew that what he did was not right.
Yes, sir.
When he was asked, instead of him to say, I ate it as a man. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
And I ate it as a man with my eyes open. You understand me? This was what I was thinking. He said it was the woman that gave me to. Are you a small child?
Did she put it in your mouth?
Are you a small child?
And then she let you bite it.
Or did she squeeze it into
a juice,
into a cup,
and then
gave it to you?
You drank it, or maybe.
Or did she help you slice it?
She injected it.
Or she injected it
with syringe
into your system. Are you seeing? Are you seeing the thing? While you are still busy putting up a blame game, there are questions.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me? Every time you see a man that blames, there are questions he's not answering. Look at the way we started questioning now.
Yes, sir.
Adam, they didn't put it into your mouth. They didn't force it on you. You willingly took it. Now, can't you
why are you blaming somebody?
So then why are you blaming the other person for what you agreed to do? Guys, we are saying this today. We are working seriously towards you not missing what you have.
Yes, sir.
Because of blame.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a job. I'm coming. I don't have a job. It can lead, it's an unconscious thing. You start blaming. You don't have enough money in your hand, you start blaming. You cannot meet up certain responsibilities that come your way, you start blaming. All these things, blaming is very, very natural. But yet, blaming is spiritual. Because blaming does not leave you where he met you. He will do something, he's going to cover your eye to make sure you don't see what the next thing is.
He's robbing you.
It's a child of failure, actually. Blaming is a child of failure. Is a product of failure.
Yes,
are you getting what I'm saying? So then, you have failed, oh Adam. You knew this was what the Lord told you not to do. You have flouted the law, you have gone against the commandment, gone up to it and said, Lord, keep Eve out of this. I was the one who agreed to take it.
You gave me the
knowing fully well that you put me in charge of this place. You understand me? So at the leadership front, the guy was a complete mess. Are you getting me? At the leadership front, the guy was not there. Why? I am supposed to be the head of this family.
Yes, sir.
This thing happened under my watch.
Yes, sir.
I might not have been there physically to see it, but I take responsibility to say, hey, blame me for this.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Do you know that what we're talking about, like a joke, has spiraled into the communities? You see, a man or a woman that is a blamer, you put them in position of authority.
They will blame everybody.
And you give them a position of responsibility. They will mess it up and they will blame it on their subordinates. You put him as a counselor, he will mess up and he will blame it on his constituency.
It can be
you make him a senator, he will mess up and he will blame it on the head of federal government.
Did you see?
You put him as a president, he will mess up and he will blame it on the media. He will blame it on the people. Yes. He will blame it on anything.
He has enemies.
You know why? His enemies are at it.
You have the enemies have come again.
Admit, agree.
For God's sake, a whole man who was a governor before, and you are now a senator. All of a sudden, you were caught in a scandalous position. Admit it.
I did it.
Yes, I
with
did
my
it.
Two eyes.
I did it.
And stop blaming it on blackmailers.
I take responsibility
blame
for it.
Blame it on anybody trying to put you down.
Yes, it is my enemies who want to blackmail me.
Well, did they carry you to the hotel? They uprooted your clothes?
See how cheap.
Come on.
In front of small girls. A whole big man.
You are leading.
Naked himself in front of small children.
Permit me to deviate.
And they showed the thing. And you are still blaming it on others. Come on.
Permit me to deviate.
Yes.
You have a country like Nigeria.
Yes.
They are killing people in your country.
Yes.
You are quiet. Who are you blaming now?
What are you trying to say?
And when you want to talk, you blame everybody, but you don't blame the culprits. You don't blame the culprits. The real culprits, you're not addressing them. Yourself, you're not blaming yourself for failing. And you're quiet.
Every time you see a leader blame others,
it's a failure at home.
That leader is not a leader.
It's a failure.
That leader is actually not a leader. Just like Adam. Adam, as far as I'm concerned,
You failed in the
is
garden.
not- Adam,
And you're blaming a woman.
Adam was not a leader.
Wow.
Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Adam was not a leader. He wasn't a leader because a leader takes he takes response even when he was not there. I wasn't there when the woman ate the food, but when she brought it to me, have you forgotten? They said we shouldn't eat this. So Lord, what should we do? Simple. That is a leader. Lord, how can we remedy
This situation.
since she has eaten it, have not eaten it yet. Now, because she ate it and he has not eaten it, it has not got blame cannot come in. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Blame was not able to interfere and get into the matter. But immediately he ate it, blame entered. Adam, so where are you? Where have you been? I have been all over the show.
Can I say
and at
something?
the end of his high, but have you taken that thing that I told you not to? It was.
The woman.
Come on.
Perhaps.
See,
That means
selfishness showed its face.
a person that blames is an irresponsible person.
That is the thing.
So, blame is the first son
Of irresponsibility. Thank you. That is the thing. Irresponsibility
Is the
can
grandfather.
easily be associated with blame. You know why?
Yes, sir.
You will not know irresponsibility. But when you see blame, that is the child of irresponsibility. Because irresponsibility hides itself.
Yes, sir.
He won't tell you I am irresponsible. But immediately you see blame.
Jesus help me.
Blame is a product, it's a byproduct, and in fact, is the glory of irresponsibility. That's the truth.
That means that if we see blame in our lives, as couples, as parents,
Yes.
as siblings, if you see you are quick to blame, please drop everything.
And
Tell
that's
yourself,
that thing.
I am responsible for
Yes.
this. At least own half of the problem.
Yes.
Take ownership. Ownership is the medicine to blaming.
Blaming.
Ownership is the medicine to irresponsibility. If you're a leader, if you're a pastor, your church members are misbehaving and they take responsibility. Lord, what am I teaching that is making these people like this? How did they become this? If they trusted
I
me.
have not watched too many Chinese films.
Yes, sir.
But there's something I noticed about the Chinese culture that is very, very interesting. You know, they run a monarchical system. And in their monarchy, immediately you are put into a position
Responsibility.
and something goes south. You understand me? Irrespective of what went wrong,
Or who did it?
because you are a leader, you own the responsibility.
You own the
You
problem.
say, please, I am the cause of this.
Yes, sir.
If I have done
I
this
have
and this,
failed.
I
The
have
first of all
failed.
tell you, I have failed.
Because this thing is not supposed to be like this. This is not supposed to be like this under my watch. But because it has happened like this, I take responsibility.
Punishment.
They are quick to take responsibility and to say, let me receive the punishment.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
That culture is a culture that leaves people with responsibility. Anybody you see, and that's why you see them, wherever they turn, they are responsible. Oh, this thing is not working, it's because of me. And once they say it's not because of me, that will turn their eye to see where the problem is, rectify the problem, and what happens? The things begin to function. Even if it was not functioning before that time, it will begin to function immediately. Are you getting
Yes.
the thing? So what are we then saying? In the middle of all of this, we said, let us stop blaming.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Do you know it is much more terrible? A young man will blame his parents. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I am like this today. If my parents had sent me to school. Your parents didn't send you to school. Did you own the problem? If you had owned the problem, you will see a way out
You
of it.
find a way.
Yeah.
Your parents, did they go to school?
They didn't go to school,
so-
and they are not willing to send you to school.
Are they rich enough to send you to school?
Why don't you find your way towards the school?
God.
I remember one story like that you told me. It was time for you to start
Secondary
secondary
school.
education.
My father said he
He
doesn't have the money.
doesn't have money.
His wife
He
just
doesn't
gave
have money.
birth. And he doesn't have money. I said, you don't have
On the
money.
day of resumption, you entered into your bike and
I'm
you
going
began
to school.
I'm going to school.
I go to
Anyhow,
school.
anyway.
I was registered.
Yeah.
My father had to borrow money to ensure that I went to school. His friend that borrowed him the money said no.
Did
I
you see-
converted it to a gift.
Did you see the thing?
Yes.
What if you turn around and say, my father said he doesn't have money. You are going from neighbor
I'll
to
just
neighbor.
get
Please, one of
married.
you should just help me tell my father, please, you should
What
just
is that?
get money. And you begin to blame me. Anybody ask you, why didn't you go to school? Because my father doesn't, my
What are
father
you
said he
talking
doesn't have
about?
money.
Not me.
Are you seeing that? But rather, on the problem, I
Yes.
said, as I get to school,
My father doesn't
something
have
to
the
sort
money,
himself out.
but I will know
Yeah.
there's a way.
There has
Yeah,
to
you
be
know,
a
I
way.
don't blame him. I'm not blaming him. He doesn't have it. If he had it, he would have
He
paid
would have
it.
paid.
But I am
Rather, it's
going
like-
to go to school. And I did go to school.
You see that?
I did go to school.
You see that?
So you have to own some of these things.
I remember-
Stop blaming your parents,
I
man.
remember when we were supposed to do university those days.
You know,
No sponsorship from anywhere. Nobody was willing to sponsor us.
wait for the sponsorship.
Nobody, you have no mother to say, please pay this for me, do that for me. We just told ourselves, this is an opportunity that we have. If we don't take this opportunity now, it may never come
Yes, sir,
again.
again.
So what did we do?
We took-
Money or no money?
We checked
We took steps.
I will.
First day in school, people are coming wearing all kinds of things. We trekked.
It doesn't matter.
We trekked with our
Getting
foot.
to the school gate,
Getting
you clean your
kilometers.
shoes.
When we go to the school gate, you have to take handkerchief.
Some
and
people
clean
that
your
know us
shoes.
know that we're not lying here.
You clean your shoes. Are you blaming anybody?
Blame who?
Because
I
a
need the
man who
degree.
blames stops his future from
You
there.
stop. Your future
God.
stops.
At
Things
the
you ought
point
to
of
stop.
blaming, you stop your own future. So did we blame? We
Yes, sir.
never blamed.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. At the end of the day, after 3 years, did they give you a certificate or not? When we were going to do youth service, I started laughing. I was pinching myself. Hey, is it me? How am I even going to survive there? It was then they now said they give allowance. I said life is getting better because they give allowance. Imagine starting from that place. Yes, you are going somewhere.
Yes,
Do you understand
Yes,
me?
sir.
Every man who chooses not to blame will have a future. Every man who chooses to blame others by themselves,
They lock their
peg
future
their own
and
future.
carry the key and throw it away.
So then blame is not anybody's play.
Don't play with
It
it.
didn't come to play. Blame sent to a man's life is intended to make the man stop. Yes. So then blame is an instrument that Satan uses to stop anybody. When you stop blaming, you start having a future. This person didn't perform well. Can somebody else do if somebody else can do it, give it to that other person, let class
Do you know
continue.
that some people are married? Their marriages are not working. They are still blaming their parents.
Yes.
It's my mother and my father. If they were living together. Or it's my mother and my... Take responsibility for your own marriage and make it work. My mother and my father's marriage didn't work. Doesn't mean my own can work.
Yes.
Do I have the same thumbprints with them? Take on your problem. My marriage is not working. Find a solution.
Don't blame your parents.
Once you blame your parents, you stop looking for
You
solutions.
stop looking for help.
You stop looking for help to solve your problem.
Exactly.
Don't blame
Oh, it's
anybody.
because of the kind of family I came out from.
So what?
That's why things are not working.
There are people
in
that
my
came
own
from
family
families
now.
that are worse than mine,
Yeah.
that are better than me. So why if they blame their own family, would they be better
they
than
be
me today? No. Let's stop blaming. Blame your mother. Your mother. What did she do that what did she know to do that she didn't do? Or you blame your father. Oh,
blame anybody.
that man was a drunk,
Yeah.
so I'm a drunk myself. Did you put the drink in your mouth? You have become a drunkard. Your wife is complaining. That is how my mother was complaining. So it runs in the family. It doesn't run in any family.
My love,
Stop blaming your parents.
many years ago, precisely about 12 years from now, you understand me?
Before now.
Before now, we had a friend whom every time we meet, all he does is to blame his wife. And I thought by being a graduate, she will earn more than this. Things will be better. He himself is not a university graduate. He married a university graduate, believing that by marrying a university graduate, things will be better. Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir.
Only for him to discover that at the end of the day, the money that the woman was earning was not much.
It's not even enough.
It wasn't enough. He started blaming her for everything. And I told him, I said, this blame game is taking you nowhere. You better stop blaming her. I said, as long as you blame her, you won't see me. Because she's not the problem over here. You are the problem. And you never stop blaming. You never stop, you know what I mean? Not taking responsibility. Did you marry her because she's a university graduate? Is that why you married her? And if that is the reason you married her, who told you that expectation? You are the one who will determine what comes out of that expectation. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
So he was not ready to own that problem. Are you seeing what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
That is how terrible it can be. Then they ask him, why are things like this? Is it not because of my spouse? Then he told me, the worst part of it was, hey, she's not like your wife. And I looked at the guy. She's not like my wife. You want her to look like my wife? If she looks like my wife, she will kill you. She will kill you and put you in your mouth and you will die. Is it not what you are looking for? And I just looked at the guy and laughed. I said, just look at this man. Not knowing where he's going, he's playing a blame game and he's looking at others, comparing themselves with themselves. They make fool of themselves.
They can't see clearly.
They can't see. Anyone who compares cannot see clearly. Because where comparison is, there's always a blame game by the side. Of course. Why are we even saying all this? Guys, your spouse is not the reason for your problem. Own it and face it headlong. Your employer is not the reason you are where you are. You understand what I mean? How can I be poor? How can a poor man come and say it's because he's been working in this organization for 10 years? That's why he is like this. If you worked elsewhere, how would you be?
What if you didn't work at all?
What if you did not even work at all? What would you say? Stop blaming. Just stop blaming.
Can I give you a national blame? I blame my country.
Yeah.
It's because Nigeria is doing this and this. Let me look. I like to give example with myself. I don't care how you look at me. It doesn't matter. With my MBA, Master of Business Admin.
Yeah.
Top. I mean, you need to see my thesis. Look at my everything. I have A's in my MBA. Everything. I used it to sell Zobo and Super Deep in Abuja.
Yeah.
I didn't have a job for 4 years, ne? With my first degree, I didn't have a job for 4 years. Eventually, when we went to get our MBA and we had to relocate to Abuja, there was no job anywhere. With my MBA, I didn't have a shop. I located a member of my church who had a small booker, and I would put Super Deep
there for you.
Super Deep and Zobo. Some of us don't know what it is. It's like this carbonated drink.
With that, you make
70 naira.
You make enough income to make you
travel to the city to go and look for a job. With my MBA. And you're saying Nigeria, because the situation, it was those days. What do you mean by those days?
Did it get
There's
any better?
always been problems. It's been worse.
Has it gotten any better?
It can never
If
get
it has
better.
not gotten any better, are you still blaming?
Don't stop blaming.
Come on,
I'm just
don't blame
saying
anybody.
this so that you don't
over the system.
Don't blame your country for being where you are at. In that same country, from that same backwood, from that same place of no job, from that place of 70 naira, like that, now it should be nothing. You can't use 70 naira.
I call the whole country together.
Come on, what are we talking about? From that same backwood, that place where nobody knew me, I got to the national stage and I left it.
And you don't have to.
You don't stop blaming people. Don't blame anything. Oh, I'm a Nigerian in South Africa. I cannot survive, because they are not employing people. Create a job for yourself.
For God's sake.
We came to South Africa. Look at me. I'm not lying to you. 6 years, 5 years, no employment. Nobody employed us.
But were we looking for what?
Did you see me write a letter to say, dear friend or dear family, send me money to eat food? We survived with nothing. Don't blame. Immediately you start blaming South African economy, they are just bad. And I cannot do anything. You can't trace us to cocaine. No. You can't trace us to black market of anything. We are just simply serving this God and looking for ways of living our life. I am saying this to enable somebody to stop blaming himself. Stop blaming your country. Stop blaming your problem. Stop blaming your family. Stop blaming anybody. Take responsibility for your life, for your marriage.
There's a new one now.
Yeah.
People of other countries, they look for who to blame, they can't find. They start blaming Donald Trump.
What have I got to do
about this problem?
If you want to go to Donald Trump country and still be a great person, you can still go there.
You can still go.
The last Nigerian or the last African that went to America and become something was not the last one. You can be the next.
Exactly.
If you stop blaming anybody. Let's stop blaming. Let's stop blaming people. Take responsibility for our lives. God gave all of us equal opportunities. We all came to the world naked. I don't care whether you were born to a place where some people were born into homes where money, everything was late for them. And they were growing up, everything finished. They are struggling more than people like us today.
That you are born into a rich home. Does that guarantee that you will maintain?
No, sir.
Blame will take everybody away from you. Blame will take everything away. Where are we going with whatever we are talking about this morning? So then, at every level of life, Blame is not your friend.
It's not.
Blame game is not
It's
the way
not.
to go.
It's not.
What are we even saying today? Take responsibility
For your life. For your marriage.
Take responsibility for your marriage. Take responsibility for the things that happen around you. Take responsibility for where you are presently so that you can go forward. Do you know a man that will go forward is a man who will take responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Your taking responsibility means the gate is open. Because blame knows how to lock gates against a man. You want to open the gates? Stop blaming. The gate will just naturally flee open for you. And as it opens, enter into it. Take advantage.
Okay.
Opportunities don't come to people who blame.
Yes, sir.
Because a blamer, you understand, even when you give him opportunity, he can't see. He's not inspired to do what he's supposed to do.
Babs,
Yes, please.
God created the heavens and the earth and allowed us to have ability to co-create further. Okay? Now, you have your hair. You don't allow your hair to just grow wild. You make it, you shape it up, right? Now, imagine the abilities in you to change situation. Imagine the potentials you have as a human being
change things around
to
you.
change
Anything against you.
Babs, we took a marriage 5 days in South Africa out of divorce court.
Yeah.
They have been there 6 months. They were going to be ruled
The following week.
before we met them.
Yes, please.
They have gone to their churches, they failed. They've gone to family, friends, counselors, psychologists.
All failed.
All failed. They were in the divorce court. They were ready to divorce. You met them and you told them, no, take your marriage, work it.
Work it.
You can work, rework what you have been working with, and this put in place. The man took the counsel.
Don't blame.
Until today, since 2009, the man is thanking God.
He's still thanking God.
That is what we should be looking at, co-creating, making things better. Now, what blame does to you is to lock down that door of creation.
Exactly.
That's your door,
creative door.
That ability that God gave you to co-create with. Blame sees a problem that you're supposed to solve. It shows you can't solve this problem because immediately you accept that because you leave it as it is. Meanwhile, in you is the capacity to change the situation.
From 2018 upwards,
Yes, sir.
be mindful of people who blame around you. Anyone who blames around you, just tell yourself, this one, you're not a team member. Until they work on themselves, they can't be part of your team. Have you not noticed what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Even in the present team that we have,
Yes, sir.
do you notice the people who blame?
Yes, sir.
The people who blame are the people who run. When there are little issues, they take off. You won't see them. Why? Blame makes them run away from responsibilities. That is exactly how it is. And yet, the blame will not tell them, I am taking you away from this responsibility because something great is on the way. Look at the timing in between.
I am taking you away from this responsibility because you are the solution.
You are the solution.
It locks you down and tells you that if
Nobody
Kenny
else
can do this, then the other person does this, then we can do it. It doesn't tell you that in you
is the ability
such
to solve
potentials,
the problem.
such abilities to solve the problem. So I believe that in 2018, if we stop blaming, we will achieve much as a church,
we will go far.
as a family, as a nation, as a people of God, and as individuals. We can achieve more if we just throw the blame door and say, okay, you know what, blame, you locked me in here this time, but you know what, I am out and I lock you behind my house, and I'm going to go further and I'm going to achieve everything that God has ordained for me to achieve this year. This family, you thought, oh Satan, and oh blame spirit, that I'm going to continue to blame my spouse, and then we remain where we have been on this. You know what? We're not going to blame ourselves anymore. We're going to put our hands together, and we're going to chase 10,000 of you blames, and we're going to achieve the purpose of God. We are going to stop blaming and then reach that place that God has ordained for us. You see, my children, I'm not going to blame them. I remember my child, the youngest one, when she was in I think grade 7, grade 8, she was like, they call them average, because she scored 75. Here 75 is average. Then she would tell me, I see this girl, she's the best in the class. That one is, I called her one day, I said, do you know what? You have started to relegate yourself to the background, and you don't understand that you are more intelligent than these children. She said, you don't know, because she came as a small child, so she came and stayed under them. And I said, you know what? Let me give you a challenge. If you can stop thinking. This
Like
is a small
this.
child that you are not intelligent, that these ones are better than you. And you can, I think she used to score, she used to come 10th in the class.
Ninth,
Ninth,
like
yeah.
that.
So and there's a particular girl she used to tell me,
That's
that girl is
that's
the top.
her yardstick.
That's the top girl in the class. I said, okay, you know what? Fortunately, they entered the same secondary school. Then I told my child, sit down and stop blaming yourself. You are intelligent, okay? Do you believe your intelligence? Yes, mommy. Do you know why you have not been able to be top of the class? She says no. I said because you don't take yourself seriously. You don't read. Because my child can come and be disturbing everybody. I was like that when I was young, so I knew what her problems were. I said, okay, you're going to make timetable for you to study, and you're going to be studying this. She said, okay, you mean I'll try? I said, yes. So she tried. The first year in the high school, she came 5th, I think. I think as her last year, she was coming first, second, second, third. And that was somebody that was coming from the back of the class. I mean, the girl that used to top her class in primary school, she beats the girl is like
far behind.
the girl is not even in the first 10 now. Now she's telling me what happened. I said, what happened is that you took yourself and took responsibility for what was happening to you. And I don't know what happened to her, but I know that what has happened to you is that you have taken responsibility. I say that to encourage somebody that, look, there is nowhere you are at that is impossible for you to come above if you learn to take responsibility and say, look, I was created given all abilities and blessings to be able to excel. I'm not going to be this under this table. I am coming up because God said I am the light of the world. And no man lights a light and puts it under the table. God is the only wise God. If He leads me and makes me light, I put myself on that table that He has put me, and I agree with my position in Christ, and I'm going to change my situation. And if we do this year is not going to finish until you have a testimony, both in your marriage, in your family, in your business or ministry, or even in your country.
Whatever we're talking about today is a template for national reconciliation. You understand me?
Yes.
Family reconciliation, even spousal reconciliation,
and intrapersonal, inside of you reconciliation.
Why are we even saying this? Take responsibility. A nation that cannot take responsibility is not going far.
Yes.
A family that cannot take responsibility is going nowhere.
Yes,
A people who can't take responsibility don't have a future.
Yes,
so the responsibility is the gateway to the future.
Yes,
take responsibility, and it shall be well with you forever.
Amen.
You want to say something more?
I just want to acknowledge everybody here. Ooh, I can see Pastor Goodheart.
Yes,
Apostle, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting us here. Samuel Olawale, Victor Obilie, Manse Justice George, and so many other people up there. I am very far from the team, and we really appreciate
somebody
you.
Here by the name
Andy
Wendy,
Monday
Ogbole, how
and
are you?
I think Antonio Ogoji was somewhere
there.
Yes. Please, brethren, we really appreciate
Thank you
your
very
support.
much for being part of this.
And if you want to watch more of our videos, you can check us up on YouTube, Noah's Ark Family Web.
Yes, please.
And if you go to our website, www.noahsarkfamilyweb.com or .org, you will find some of the materials we have there. And we appreciate you for sitting down and listening to us. I promise you, if you can just go and watch this video again, a lot has been said. Even us, we always go back to watch the videos and to watch the messages, because sometimes the Lord helps us with new information that helps us to improve on what we are doing or what we believe in for. So please, Apostle Goodheart, we appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll see you next week, Saturday, the same time, 11 o'clock Nigerian time, 12 o'clock GMT. CAT, Central African time. We bless God for you, and we know that it shall be well with your marriage, and you will no longer blame anybody for what is happening around you. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
The Lord bless you. We appreciate you. We thank you for this time. 2018 is a better year.
Amen.
I promise you.
Yes, sir.
The things coming, they call for us to be able to say to ourselves, better days are ahead. Hallelujah.
Amen.
The Lord bless you. See you next time. Thank you very much. Amen.